question for you. How do I set the perfect intention? So often we have many things we want to attract, maybe. And how do we know when is the perfect? And how do I set the perfect way?
Right. That is a great, great question. So here's where people, including myself, can get stuck. And I even have to say to the universe, okay, help guide me on this one, because we know the more specific I am about what I want, the more likely I am to get it. I mean, literally, when you go and you buy a car, I want this make, this model, preferably this color. Well, when you say that, the dealer is going to bring you those, right? There's this line of thought that's like, the more specific that I am about what I want to manifest or attract, the more likely I am to get it. And then people get like, they're clutching the cookie, like they get controlling about it. It has to be, it has to be, I have to get more specific. And all of a sudden, when that happens, you get very rigid. And when you get rigid, you repel what the universe is trying to already bring you. So the key here is to, yes, be specific, but be playful about it. If somebody was like, okay, I want to bring in the perfect soulmate. It's a woman, she could say, one of the choices is a man who is 6'2" and in his 30s, never married, no children yet, but really wants them, is financially secure, loves his job, really also loves the outdoors, right? So it's very playful. And then to put out this or something better. This or something better.
Takes the edge off.
It takes the edge off, which allows the receiving in. I'm going to give you a practical example of how this happens. When I bought my current car, it was like in the middle of winter and I was living up in a mountain, and it became very clear I needed a sports utility vehicle to not slide off the road in the snow. So I went to the dealer and I was like, well, I'm kind of looking at this year. I'm looking at about this much of a payment per month. I really like stick shifts.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually didn't say the color. And so he showed me like a couple that were in that kind of range, different colors. I looked in the engines and the tire and test drove them, and none of them felt good. And he goes, okay, so look, I've got this car that just came in. It's a stick shift, but it's a little different than what you want. And I was like, all right. He was like, let me pull it up. And so I'm standing out there talking to my friend, and he pulls it up, and it's a silver 4-door stick shift. Every single vehicle I've ever owned has been a silver 4-door stick shift. And in that moment, I was like, fuck, I'm going to pay whatever they ask for this. Like, oh my God, thank you, universe. And I did. I got in and test drove it and was like, oh, I am sold. Like, and even me going, how did he? Oh yeah, thank you, universe. So practical example of, I could have saved myself a ton of time had I been like, okay, look, what do you have that's a stick shift, silver, 4 doors? Because it would have saved me time. It would have saved him time, right?
Definitely. So you just say, you're right. Sometimes we are too rigid, too uptight when it comes to that.
And
the same happens.
Pushes it away.
Same happened when we try to manifest our adoption. So at the beginning, we wrote on the list that we want a girl, anything from birth to 6-7 years old, we are fine. But then I had a dream, and we waited for almost 2 years. And then I had a dream that they say, please change it to either boy or girl, because you're blocking the energy, like you are not doing favors. So I told my husband, and then he asked them to return the papers. So we changed it. And actually they called within 2 weeks and they said, we have a boy for you. So I knew that it's, if I was so rigid again and not changing my ways, I think we still maybe waited. And it was strange because in a dream, there was a small boy and he was keep telling me, I am here, but you're not letting me in. And I was like, what is this supposed to be, And then I knew Thank you. Listen, Amanda, I wanted to say thank you so much. I will